Hi, I'm Ileana Limon Romero here with our Orlando City insider, Alicia Delgado, ready to take some reader questions about the Lions, the Pride. Oh my. All right, Alicia. So first question coming in is from at Coastal Tackle. Is there any part of the squad that you would like to strengthen?
I think if you're talking about player acquisitions, I think they're pretty good right now. I don't think you're going to see too much more movement anytime soon. But as far as where they can improve playing-wise, I think there's a few people who would like to be doing better than they have been in the first few games. One that comes to mind is Kevin Molino. He has a ton of potential. Everybody talks about what a fantastic finisher he is. Of course, we know that he was the USL MVP with the Lions, and he has yet to score an MLS goal. But I've talked to some people, and their goal is to create opportunities for him so that he can get over that hump, get that first goal scored, and then they think that'll emotionally get him, prepared and ready to move forward. So I think if there's one area or one player that could be strengthened the most on the team, I think it would be Kevin right now.
Let Kevin be Kevin. I think they definitely had indicated they felt like getting him back from injury was like signing a whole new player. So it seems once they get him really in the fold and firing on all cylinders, it'll be really special for the team. All right, next question from Meards Beards.
Meards Beards.
Meards Beards. What a great
Kyle
handle.
Meardo. He tweets me a lot.
What is the status of Aurelian Colin and being an Orlando City Lion? So
Kyle.
Everyone wants to know about Aurelian.
Colin.
What?
It's the question that never dies. Colin, his status as an Orlando City Lion is that he is an Orlando City Lion right now and for the foreseeable future. I don't think that people should worry too much right now at this moment about him being a bench player. It's what they need right now, and having the depth in that position is great. So until they start looking for someone else in that position, I think Colin will be staying with the team, at least for now.
That's understandable. Orlando City went from not having enough depth last year to now this year. You're looking at a team where you had some traditional starters who are not seeing any action, who are available for selection but aren't coming off the bench. And so it's just a different adjustment, but it seems like it's a very good problem to have and one they very much needed.
Well, let's not forget, too, it's Tommy Redding. He's still young. Yes, he's been playing well, but to have that veteran and to have that experience backing him up, it is a really long season. We've heard Coach Adrian Heath say that many times. They're going to need all of the players that they have on the bench. And when you have such a young player, will he keep up this level of consistency in games? If not, they'll need him.
All right, looking at our next question, OCSC Pundits. All right, this is a two-parter. Let's start with the first one. Best, worst player this year. That's kind of a tough one, but let's start with the best.
I'm not
Who's the best
answering
player?
the worst player
Well, we'll
question.
explain why. That's kind of a weird one to ask, but the best player so far.
Gotta go with Kyle Larin.
All right.
I think Kyle has shown any doubters that he might last year might have been not a fluke, but just a higher level of production than he'll continue to put out. I think he's shown that he's here to stay. He's going to be scoring goals. He constantly puts himself in positions and gets the goals that Orlando City needs. So for me, at this moment, Kyle Larin is my player.
All right.
What about you? You have a different one?
I'm going to say Joe Bendick, but maybe I'm just really impressed by the last game.
A lot of people will disagree with
with that.
Not
But
me,
you look at the clean sheet, from last game, I think being able to hang in there and dig in, I think he's made a great transition. But there's lots of players who are really performing well for Orlando City, and that's been a key reason why they haven't picked up a loss. So worst player, you can't name a worst player when you haven't lost. It just doesn't seem right. But player with room to improve, perhaps?
Yeah. Like I said, Kevin Molino, player with a lot of room to improve, probably the most room to improve. I think that that when he gets that goal and gets over the hump, Kaká told me today that he thinks that once Kevin gets that first goal, he's going to just keep scoring goals and score a whole bunch of them. So I think Kevin, probably the entire back line has room to improve. right now, but a lot of focus has been put on the midfield because they've bolstered the roster so much at midfield, and it's so strong and so deep now. So, back line and Kevin.
All right. So the second part of this two-parter question, really a three-parter actually, will we release the Beast on Portland? So explain who the Beast is for those who don't know, and when will the Beast be released?
The Beast, Julio Baptista, Brazilian, friends with Kaká, older veteran, 34 years old, just signed by Orlando City. He is expected to be Kyle Laren's backup, but he is not here yet. He is not with the team. He is not in the United States. They're waiting for international clearances. They're hoping that he will be here sometime this week, but if he's not here yet, I say it's highly unlikely that the Beast is released
it's not
on
happening.
Sunday.
Not happening against Portland, but I think it is invaluable to have that backup, to have that resource, to have that available.
Especially because we've seen Kyle's been getting beaten up in games. Like, defenders are really gunning for him. They know that he's dangerous, and he's taken a hit or two or three.
All right, so we have some late breaking questions that came on right as we came through, so we're going to catch a couple of those.
I'm going to be caught by surprise.
Maybe, just a little bit. We'll keep you on your toes. So the next question, we're looking at how many games do you think OCSC expects Kaká to play this year? Kaká finally poised to make his season debut, which is a little weird. So deep in the season, I think people forgot about it because they haven't lost without him being in the lineup. But how many games do you think?
According to Kaká, he's going to play 90 minutes in every single game. I don't think that necessarily will happen. But I think they're going to try to play him as much as possible. He's their star. He brings not just his skill to the team, but he brings a different dynamic and motivates the other players. Everyone looks to him as a leader. So whenever they can have him healthy on the field, they will. So I don't know. Putting a number out there is tough, but
it's hard to predict.
as many as possible while still maintaining his health, because he's getting older as well.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I think
you don't want to stress him.
Yeah, he saw this as a signature year, as a chance to really do something to learn from last year and move it forward. So it's going to be a battle to keep him off the field, it seems, rather. The expectation is to let him
Well, he did mention today, too, that the depth that they've had, like, they've needed that depth. They've needed someone to back up Kyle Laren. They've needed someone to back up him, he said, previously. And they didn't have those players at the same level or close to his level before, and now they do. So they can rest him when they need to and not worry about it too much.
All right, next question. This one, why has Orlando City not released kits, merchandise, or anything else with less than a month left before the opener? This is for the Orlando Pride. I understand there's a lot of support for the Pride. I'm not sure if everyone was prepared for how much attention they've got and how much fan support. What have you seen from the fan support so far from covering them?
I mean, just in the few stories that I've written about the Pride, the retweets on social media are insane. The questions, the response, like, and another crew of people on social media love the Pride, and they retweet everything. I almost get more retweets for the Pride than Orlando City at times. So I've heard, correct me if I'm wrong because this was before my time, but that there are plans to release the kits. They just have limited resources, and they'll be doing it soon.
Yeah, we'll be looking for a lot more Pride stuff. I think it doesn't hurt that they start on the road, so you're going to be just seeing a lot more stuff available as they come home, and have no fear. They recognize the fan support and are going to work to make sure you have every opportunity to buy merch. Yeah. There will be lots of merchandise out and about for fans who want to get behind the team. For now, they've got magnets. There are some T-shirts out. There are some scarves. Logos, there is a support group, so it's not too hard to find them on social media. If you're looking to get in with that group, they absolutely can make that happen and provide you with all the latest on their personal material to promote the team.
Anything else? Did we get any other last minute ones?
I think we're good there. I had a couple questions though. Now that you've had a chance to see OCB, it sounds like a loss was a win.
A little bit. Yeah, I talked to Adrian Heath about the game and what he saw and if he was impressed, and he said that he was impressed with with a few players. He was impressed with Haji Berry's play. He thought he worked really hard. He was impressed with 17-year-old Pierre Da Silva, who plays for OCB. And he thought that they made good strides towards their ultimate goal, which is developing the younger players for MLS. He thinks they'll improve and they will be trying to win, but wants to remind everybody that they will get better over time. And these are a big group of younger players who, in some cases, against Wilmington and against other teams, are playing like grown men who have everything on the line, and this is their lifeline, and this is how they make their money and their end goal and things like that. So he wanted to remind everyone that the team is very young and they're developing and they'll continue to get better. But what he saw was pleasing.
All right, so the Pride also, like we said, lots of attention. They played a friendly at University of Florida. Alex Morgan did not play full time, and that got a little bit of attention, made people a little bit nervous. What can you tell us about where Alex Morgan's at, and what she's doing right now?
She's taken probably the last 3 or 4 practices off to rest a hip pointer, which, if you don't know, is a deep bruise to the point of your hip, and that happened, I think, around the beginning of the year, and she recovered. She was doing fine, but right when she scored a goal, a combination of scoring the goal and getting hit while she was scoring the goal aggravated again, and they didn't want to take any risks with it, especially because she's meeting up with the U.S. women's national team this week ahead of some friendlies that they have. So she rested the past 3 or 4 days. Coach Tom Sermani emphasized that it is not a big deal. Like, don't freak out. She's fine. This is no big deal. They stretched her out. She rested. She was watching practice yesterday. She's meeting up with the U.S. team today, and she'll be playing for them, and then she'll be back with the Pride, so it's not a huge deal. And goalkeeper Ashlyn Harris will be meeting up with the U.S. this week as well. She's been nursing a cold, but she's fine too, and she'll be there too.
All right, so we primarily take questions from Twitter. We encourage readers, send us your questions. Viewers, send us your questions. You know, usually early in the week, we try to get them leading up to this show we're going to be doing every Tuesday.
This week.
However, we do take them from all forms of social media. We got one from Instagram.
Okay.
Orange County Animal Services.
What?
Would Orlando City Soccer be interested in doing a photo shoot with adoptable pets at Orange County Animal Services?
I would love to see that photo shoot.
Yes.
Because that would be awesome. I think that's a question for Orlando City to answer, but there is precedent because they've done a photo shoot with us before with adoptable kittens. And if you don't remember, here's
check out our
part
video.
of the video.
Kittens.
Rob Valentino, current assistant coach of OCB, with an adoptable kitten in a cup.
There you go.
So
Look at
Orlando
those kittens.
County Animal Services, I think it is safe to assume that it is something they may be interested in.
Look at that footwork and the kittens. Awesome.
You can't. I mean, soccer
So,
players and kittens.
There's some love there for their pets. There's awful lot of members of these teams who have dogs. So I'd imagine, yeah, you can reach out directly, Orange County Animal Services. We encourage you to. We believe that Orlando City will come through for you. They
I
seem
think
to
so.
be very pet friendly.
They tweet pictures of their dogs all the time. It's basically all I do at work.
Very good. All right. So for all the latest Orlando City news, and when we say Orlando City, we mean Orlando City, OCB, Orlando Pride, all of the teams under the club. Be sure to follow Alicia Delgado on Twitter and send us your questions at OS Lions. We're looking forward to answering what readers want to know. With Alicia, I'm Ileana Limon Romero at the Orlando Sentinel. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.